There seems to be something in the air out here that brings and keeps families together. Alice Giles is a world-famous harpist and her husband a renowned Israeli pianist. They've settled in a property here in Yass, along with Alice's mum, who's a leading sculptor, Rosemary Madigan.
Everyone in my family played music at home, and we had a very old grand piano, and my favourite thing was to reach inside and strum the strings. Thinking back to those early beginnings, it was just the sound of strings. There's something also very tactile about touching strings. The harp is a very immediate instrument, so however you touch it and however you hold yourself, whatever you do with your body comes out as a particular kind of colour of sound. When I was studying in the States, I went into one of the international competitions in the world, which was the Israel International Harp Contest, and I won that. That was in 1982. I went back later, and that's where I met my husband, who's a pianist, Hanan Wiesel, and then we decided to move together to Germany because it was kind of really, at that point, the hub of a very lively musical life for young performers like us. It was a great time. But then our first daughter was born and we decided to move back to Australia. I never thought I would be able to have this kind of varied musical life and live in the country and do my teaching, which I love, and I teach 2 days at the ANU School of Music. Then I go overseas about twice a year.
You want to show me what you're going to take to the
Chris Gallery? Yes. Come here, Alice. I'll show you what we've decided to send. Yes, I thought I'd like to be a sculptor. Didn't know much about it. But it's funny how those things happen. I like carving and more than modelling. I think I like to have something there and deal with it. Cut it away. It does suggest to you the shape, you know. If it's a certain shape, well, it can't be this or that, you know, it has to be that. So, well, in the early days, the fashion was direct carving, so you didn't make a model, you didn't have a little sketch and blow it up, because that lost the feeling, the spontaneity of it. That's why commissions are hard for me, because I can't decide. It's going to be that, because the stone or the wood, it leads me somewhere else. So it's a voyage of discovery all the time.
Your father was the geologist and explorer Cecil Madigan. Tell me a little bit about him.
Well, actually, you're sitting in a chair that was his chair in his study where he wrote a couple of books.
Great. An illustrious chair.
So I was brought up with Hurley pictures of icebergs in the house and things like that. And a penguin, my father had a penguin in the study and a sealskin mat, I suppose it was from down there, but he did have a polar bear, which was not correct. But that was good for children because that was on the floor and had a big head, you know, and you could put your book, so and you could lie and read these books. He only went down to the Antarctic with Mawson. He was 22, and they had an awful time, and at the end they all went out on sledging journeys, and the diary for one of the sledging journeys, he kept falling in crevasses.
He was always this hero in my imagination because I never met him, and as an explorer and a very strong personality. The ANU supported an application I made to the Australian Antarctic Division for a fellowship to travel to Antarctica because There have been composers who've travelled to Antarctica, but not so much performers. So there's always been a fascination for me with kind of making a connection somehow, and this will enable me to come some way to find out what he experienced there, get closer to it.
I'm doing a lot of collage because it's been such rotten weather that I haven't been able to carve outside, and I'm getting older, and it's more physical. But I've got such a lot of stone and timber, and I'm thinking, I must get onto this. Time is running out. Looking back, some things are not much good, and some things are reasonable, and every now and then you do something you're really happy with. So, here's the nearly completed picture of your little daughter. And she's very proud of having a little spot here.
One day we saw a little private ad saying stone cottages and 45 acres of land, and we came out here and saw these stone cottages that no one had been living in for 50 years. No floorboards, no ceiling, everything falling down. But we fell in love with the place.
She found this place. Her place down the hill. It's a big block with a creek running through, and so she and I, one afternoon, we were sitting on the hill here quietly, and she said, "I think I could live here." And I said, "I think I could too." So we did. What colour is it?
One of those.
This one. Darkish.
Yes.
So it's about here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here's the little golden patch.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'll make that later. So I won't stand out too much.
Yeah.
It's lovely, actually, because it was just the two of us for quite a few years in Sydney when I was a teenager. So we were very close. And then I went off and I was independent for 16 years or more, and it was so nice to come back and be both so happy together here in this environment.
I'll tell you what I think about Yass. You come to Yass and you find these